Politicians have the ability to set the laws of their country, and a lot of the time this can lead to abuse of the system. This is what happens when corrupt politicians are caught red-handed.
So I have a job to do, sir.
Yeah. What's your name?
Officer Vespin. It's going to be on the citation. Can I see your insurance registration?
The man who was just pulled over here is Martin Hyde, an important Florida politician who hoped to become a congressman at the beginning of 2022. And from the way he said, "I'll just go to the chief," it's pretty clear that he's someone that has no problem lording his power over anybody that gets in his way. The officer here hasn't even done anything warranting a threat like that, but Hyde seems to be pretty unhappy that he's even been pulled over.
Your license, please. Sir, can I have your paperwork, please? 7 years, sir.
It's hard to hear with the cars riding by, but when the officer said that she has a job to do, Hyde remarked, "For now." It's very, very unlikely that a potential congressman has the kind of sway to get a police officer fired. But that's still a pretty jarring threat to hear from someone that is supposed to have the best interest of his citizens at heart. He was speeding and texting while driving. Does he think that a good police officer should just ignore that and let him be on his way because he's a politician?
Can I see your registration, please? You're not going to give me your registration, sir.
You arrest me?
I'm asking you if you're going to produce me with your registration. You don't have it on you?
Look, go call the chief. Tell him how rude you just been to me. Blame this video.
Okay.
Then you call Marlon Brett. Then you call the mayor.
Okay.
We're not okay, though. Tell me what to do.
It's kind of funny that Hyde thinks he has any sort of power in this situation. He starts making demands for her to call a bunch of people, but at the same time is refusing to give her his registration. In most jurisdictions, including the entire state of Florida where he lives, it is a legal requirement to provide your car's registration to a police officer when requested. Failure to do so can result in fines, citations, or arrest if it comes down to it. Hyde seems intent on pressing his luck here.
Okay, sir. Are you refusing to produce your registration? I'm asking you if you have your registration.
You're making career decisions.
Okay,
Why
sir.
are you doing this?
Sir, because you were speeding and you were texting.
Says who? Where's your video?
All right. Hang tight.
Asking an officer, "Why are you doing this?" when you were just observed breaking the law is cocky to say the least. In this scenario, the officer has been nothing but kind, but Hyde seems intent on making her think that she's going to lose her job over this situation because of him. She is not making career decisions here. She is pulling over someone for speeding and texting while driving, which is explicitly within the job description of a police officer.
Call the supervisor. I just spoke to your boss.
Okay.
That's not okay.
You want your paperwork?
Is it your Russian immigrant status that makes you treat people like this?
10-4-10-6.
Call the supervisor.
Well, that is certainly a question that came out of nowhere. Asking about an officer's immigration status at a traffic stop is not only unprofessional, it's just downright rude. He seems to imply that she's done something morally wrong or complicit, when all she's done so far is pull him over for breaking the law.
14 dispatch, can you have my supervisor respond, please?
Yeah.
It's actually surprising how many times this exact scenario plays out. The officer asks multiple times for the registration, the person declines multiple times, but as soon as the citation booklet is brought over, they magically have it in their possession and want to hand it over. It's a specific and deliberate ploy to attempt to make the officer look unreasonable, because they tried to hand it over but the officer wouldn't take it. He also attempted to cut her off multiple times when she's just attempting to read out what she's required to read, which isn't a good look for anyone, let alone a politician.
And that's fine.
It's not fine. What you keep saying is fine.
Sir,
I'm a law-abiding citizen, and you're being bloody rude to me.
if you decide to go ahead and do the court, just make sure you do a prior submission of payment, as they do
You think you're winning?
require a certificate of
Do you?
completion. If you sign up for it, you must complete it. Otherwise, they will go ahead and suspend your license. You are going to be issued a citation for texting and driving. Okay? You are going to be issued a citation for texting and driving. Your fine is $116. Information in the back. You're going to have an option to plead guilty and an option to plead not guilty. You are going to be issued a citation for failure to provide your registration upon request. Your fine is $116. Information in the back. You are guilty or not guilty.
You're lying.
Green paper. Green paper tells you have 30 days to replay.
Why are you lying?
The repeated and deliberate accusation of the officer lying is just kind of the cherry on top, really. He started recording at a point where he believed he would look good, either not noticing or not caring that there was already a body cam recording that would show the entire context.
You have 30 days to reply. Your payment options are on the green form.
Why are you lying?
Phone number on the bottom in case you have any questions. When my supervisor comes, I'll wait for him with you if you like me to. Your citation's over here. You can accept them. I will wait, but I will wait in my car. There you go.
Yeah, but you have the bad.
Sir, step back into your car or stand on the sidewalk so you don't get hit by a vehicle. It's for your safety. 14 right here. Can I have another unit respond?
It's generally a bad idea to step out of the car at a traffic stop, and because the officer is legally detaining him, she does actually have the law at her back when she asks him to wait in a certain location.
Bye. Speeding, 57 and a 40, texting while driving, and failure to produce his registration because he told me I could look it up. And he's gonna have my job. Everything is on camera. Alrighty. Bye.
This is a situation where body cams really do come in handy, both for the people being detained and for the officers. Without body cam footage, it would be her word versus his, which could go badly because of his status. Luckily, the truth was recorded for the world to see.
Sarge Frangione is on his way.
Okay.
Speeding, 57 and a 40. Texting while driving, failure to produce his registration when I asked. He told me I could look it up.
Okay. You know who he is?
Yes.
Right? Yeah, you finally identified him.
Yes.
Okay. So you're just gonna stay by to cite him, or is that what?
He already got cited.
Oh, he has already
Yeah.
citation. So he just.
From the moment I woke up.
So he's just waiting for.
He's waiting for supervisor, and I guess he spoke to Frangione, so Frangione is on his way.
Okay.
Bobby just pulled up.
Okay.
It's interesting to see the kind of pull that politicians have in situations like this. For most people, officers really wouldn't wait around for another officer to show up to corroborate. They would just cut them loose. It's unfortunate the kind of corruption that runs deep in the political scene, especially at higher levels.
Mr. Hyde? I guess you talked to Sergeant Frangione by the phone?
I did, yeah.
Okay, he's on his way. She requested another unit, so that's why
You
another
give
unit.
someone a certificate, ticket for no registration when they've got their registration. She's trying to make her Spurs, but it's a big mistake.
Well, this one is the expired one, but
Well, that doesn't make it. It'll take 2 seconds.
yeah.
We're going to make sure that she pays the price for being disrespectful.
So not only is he trying to make it look like he's been the reasonable one the whole time regarding the registration, it was actually expired the whole time. And then he claims they're going to make her pay for disrespecting him? Where was the disrespect? Was it because she had to talk over him because he wouldn't let her get a word in? His entire argument is a joke.
I just wanted you to witness it, know that, the registration was right there, and she deliberately chose to write the ticket. She came up, she said, the first... Look, there's a video of it, so be quiet. There's a video of what you said.
There is.
And I've got a video of what you said. Right? What she said was, I said, I don't have it. She immediately said, I'll write your citation. She went right back. She never said anything. She went straight back. I denied the citation. She's straight back, right the citation. I've lived here for 25 years. I've represented your unit. I've got no interest in listening to you, young lady.
I was talking to my sergeant. Sergeant, if you don't mind if we could step over the road onto the sidewalk.
Yeah,
Oh,
just a
it's
second,
public
officer.
service, yeah. Come on then.
Of course, now he's more than fine with moving out of the road because the sergeant said so.
Proceed to the route.
Stay in your car.
I just wanted to know if you want me to go back to the station.
You can go to the
Come back
station.
in.
Yep, go to the station. Hey, Martin. Yeah, I have to leave it on.
All right, so here's the thing. She lied about the cell phone thing.
Okay.
She lied about I don't know, the speed. I could care less. You can give me the ticket all day long. I could care less about that. And then I gave her the registration, and she's registration. It's in the car there somewhere. She goes off, she writes me a ticket, she brings me back a citation. I said, there it is.
Okay.
And she still gives me it.
Okay. All right.
Now that his buddy the sergeant has showed up, of course Mr. Hyde is the nicest and most reasonable guy, and the officer was lying about all of it. Unfortunately for him, the body cam footage won't paint him in the nicest light.
Well, you tell me what the point is.
It's just a state statute that she enforces. She's not the only traffic
Would
officer
you
that writes.
give a ticket for that?
I really don't leave the office. I understand what you're saying.
I understand you have a video on there, but the fact is, nobody in their right mind would give a ticket for that to me. Nobody.
I understand what you're saying, and you producing it, she probably should have taken that ticket away, but I'm going to find out what exactly occurred. And
Because she had a bee in her bonnet because she thought she was on a big power trip. Guess what? She's been there 7 years. She ain't going to make 8.
Okay.
It's actually baffling that the sergeant said that she should have rescinded the ticket, when this exact ploy is used all the time by people being pulled over. It's also unacceptable that he's allowing someone to threaten the job of one of his officers like that, regardless of whether or not they're friends. Unfortunately for Hyde, he was not the one that came out on top here. The female officer's body cam footage went viral, and the people of Sarasota were not happy. In fact, Hyde would eventually cancel his campaign, take down his website, and really hasn't done very well politically in the past few years. And he did, in fact, have to pay off those citations. The next case, unfortunately, didn't have such a happy ending. This is Zebulon Police Chief Jonathan Hempel, and he's quite brave to immediately get out of his car to walk over and confront 2 police officers. People have had weapons pulled on them for far less. He says that he blinked his lights at them to let them know who he was, but that doesn't change the fact that his window tint was much too dark, and his tag was allegedly not on file. Unmarked cars are tricky because the way they're tagged varies depending on state, district, and even county. Most undercover cars have what are called cold plates, which will come back with the organization, but no specific name on file. One thing for certain, however, is that no legal plate will ever come back with no information on it.
Say hello, was that illegal?
No, no, sir. The reason why we're stopping you is because it's a window tint violation.
I blinked my blue lights at you to let you know who I was.
Yes, sir. Well, we didn't know with it, that's not a government tag.
That is a unofficial tag.
Okay.
That tag's not even on file.
I see. Yes. Well, we have to catch up the bill to run it and everything like that, sir.
So I won't blink my blue lights at you next time. I'll let you just sit there. I was just speaking. I'm the police chief in Zebulon.
Well, nice to meet you, sir.
Matt Polk worked for me. Your chief worked for me.
Yes, sir. There's no need to get upset.
I'm upset because I spoke to you when I come by, and now you're pulling me
Sir,
over.
I've never met you a day in my life.
I understand that.
Right.
Why are you being hostile?
Easy. I don't have to talk to you.
Okay.
Easy. I'm not talking to you.
Why are you being hostile right now?
Are y'all gonna write me a ticket? Are you gonna write me a ticket?
Sir, we're just trying.
I'm the police chief in Zebulon. Do you want to write me a ticket?
Why are you coming up to me like
write me a
that?
ticket?
I'm doing my job, right?
What are you stopping for?
I'm stopping you for one. The window tint's dark. The
I have
flashing
blue lights in my car.
Okay, you know how many officers have blue lights?
Are you writing me a ticket? Yes or no?
I'm conducting my investigation.
Are you writing me a ticket? I'm fixing to leave.
Do you have your driver's license?
Sure, I have my driver's license.
I don't know why you're
I have my driver's license. I'm fixing to make it a whole lot more. Your boss worked.
11:11. I'm out here with Illinois.
Stand off me just like anybody else. Pulled over, okay? Thank you.
Where's my license?
Considering this man is the chief of police in another county, He doesn't seem very accepting of the normal legal process. She doesn't have to let him know whether or not she's writing him a ticket yet. She's perfectly within her rights to conduct an investigation and make sure everything's in order.
Yeah, that's what I was explaining.
I don't want to hear that from you.
Okay.
You let her do her job.
28 returns to a 2001 Dodge Ram truck, black in color, to Machine Construction Company out of Luthersville.
It doesn't come back to that vehicle.
Valid insurance, negative 99.
We hear the officer here say that the tag doesn't come back to that vehicle. That might be the way that some jurisdictions do undercover tags. But if that were the case, the officer would most likely be familiar with the process.
11-8, make sure you're recording.
Yeah. What?
She's about bringing your driver's license
All
back
right.
up.
That's fine.
Yeah. First when we ran the tag, it came back to like a Dodge Ram, so we're just
It's not a
confirming
Dodge
it's not.
Ram.
Yes, sir. We're
It's
just,
a ghost tag.
yes, sir. We're
You
making
must
sure.
have anything back with that tag.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're just.
You must have run it wrong. You must have run it wrong because you wouldn't come back to a Dodge Ram.
We were confirmed it. They let us know and everything.
So it's still coming back to a Dodge Ram now?
Sir, can I ask why you're so upset?
Is it still coming back to a Dodge Ram
No,
now?
we got it fixed. Why are you so upset?
No, you didn't fix it. Is it still coming back to a Dodge Ram right now?
No, it came back 9 on 5.
It seems like the tag was eventually sorted out, but the chief seems unnecessarily hostile for something that wasn't really the fault of the officers here. They were doing their job. It's not their fault that his tag has some weird stuff about it. He was also very aggressive when opening that door.
That's right, because you run it wrong.
Sir,
Somebody run it wrong. Either you did or they did.
We're about to get the information.
Okay,
and get
I
it
got
back
your
to you.
chief on the phone right now. That's
Yes,
fine.
sir. I
That's fine.
understand.
That's fine.
Can you calm down for us,
No.
please?
I appreciate your service. I appreciate your service.
All right.
I'm just saying, I spoke to you guys. I didn't have to do that. I could have eased on by y'all. I appreciate the job y'all out here doing.
Chief,
I
I'm trying to be
y'all.
respectful with you.
I understand
okay?
that. I understand that.
I'm not raising my voice or
I
nothing at
understand
you,
that.
right?
I understand
All
that.
right, let's.
But
man
I'm
to
trying
man,
to
let's
tell
be
you,
respectful to one
the
another,
only
okay?
thing I done wrong was spoke. Y'all never would have pulled me over if I hadn't flicked my blue lights
No,
at you.
sir. No, we were going to pull you up. Actually, I'm
No,
not
you
going to
won't.
lie to you. I'm
No,
telling
you
you straight up, okay?
Okay. All right.
But like I said, there's people out here impersonating police officers with blue lights.
Or you
and
threw
we've
my
dealt with
she
them
threw my
before.
license if she is getting them for me.
She'll bring it to you, sir.
Okay, well that's fine.
I'm just
Bring it
trying
till
to.
you get through.
I'm trying to talk with you.
I don't want to talk anymore about it.
Despite the officers being nothing but respectful, it doesn't seem like Hempel was ever going to be very cooperative. And the people looking over this case likely didn't think so either, because Chief Jonathan Hempel was given an oral reprimand and required to attend post-training related to anger and de-escalation. As of the most recent information, he's still employed in Zebulon, which, as you'll know from our past videos on police, officers losing their job is a very uncommon thing, as we'll see again in this next case.
Sir, go back into your car. I'll be with you in a second.
You better check the registration on this plate soon, mister.
Here we have another case where someone believes that the name attached to their registration should be enough to get them out of trouble for doing something illegal. The reason for the initial stop was tailgating, which is actually against the law in Pennsylvania. The fine is usually very low, only around $25, but it gives the officers a reason to pull someone over. Whether you think that it's a scummy move is up to you.
Have a good day, Judge. You bet.
Unfortunately, that's the entire traffic stop. This is a case where nepotism is clearly seen, because if anyone else had acted like that towards the officer, they likely would have gotten in far more trouble than a simple tailgating ticket. In late 2019, the Judicial Conduct Board announced the completion of its investigation into this incident. They determined that there was sufficient evidence to consider filing charges in the Court of Judicial Discipline. Charges in the Court of Judicial Discipline typically pertain to allegations of misconduct or ethical violations by judges in relation to them being a judge. When facing such charges, a judge may be subject to a formal investigation and legal proceedings. However, instead of pursuing charges, the board chose to publicly release a letter of counsel, which is sort of like a slap on the wrist. A letter of counsel is a formal communication directed at a judge, issued by a judicial oversight body or authority. It serves as a written admonishment or warning in response to specific conduct or actions by the judge that have raised concerns but may not necessarily warrant formal charges or disciplinary action. So, despite all that happened, the judge is keeping his job without any punishment whatsoever. Seems like being in power really did get him somewhere. Fortunately, that's not how things went down in this next case.
I'm just gonna pat you down.
Yes, sir.
Just put interlock your fingers. Interlock your fingers. Do you have any weapons on you?
No, not at all.
The man that you just saw passing out at the wheel is Matthew Reilly, and at this point in time, he was a Cranston City Council member and chairman of the Cranston Republican Party. If you looked closely, you saw the pipe that he held in his hand, which he very quickly tried to tuck into the center console of his car. Unfortunately for him, the police had already been watching him for a good few minutes.
Alright.
Roads open, Boston.
You're gonna stop, try not to, Oh, no way, dude, really?
Yes, yes. I was just on my way back from court.
Bro. Well, a rescue's gonna come check you out, man. I can't let you go. You were literally choking in your sleep. Somebody flagged me down about it.
Oh, I have sleep apnea. I'm sorry.
Well, and then you have a crack pipe in your hand, so it's like...
Please, sorry.
Listen, I have a body camera. Obviously, everything I have is recorded. You know that, and what I've observed is on camera, so I can't pretend I didn't. You know, so a rescue's gonna come here, and they're gonna check you out. You know, as far as I know, there's no drugs anywhere, so I can't, you know, so there's not a criminal investigation. There's more a health or well-being check type thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I obviously have to document it.
By the way the officer said this, it makes you wonder whether or not he would have looked the other way if there wasn't a body cam recording what was going on. He also says that it doesn't look like there's drugs anywhere, but he hasn't done any sort of search of the car yet. And he saw the crack pipe in the man's hand. It very much feels like wishful thinking on the officer's part, which isn't professional in the slightest.
You know, you can have that back.
Thank you. There will be no arrest.
What?
There will be no arrest?
No. Are there any drugs in the car or anything like that?
No, nothing.
Alright.
It is very early for the officer to say that there's not going to be an arrest. He should instead have said something like, "We're going to conduct an investigation," or something else along those lines. Outright saying that there isn't going to be an arrest, while also taking the man's word that there aren't drugs in the car when he was caught with a pipe in his hand, is not professional and very presumptuous.
Alright.
Just went through a really, really bad divorce recently.
Okay. Do you know if any of that was laced with fentanyl or anything? Because you were out, and like, looked like you were choking.
Really?
Yeah. That's why somebody literally sprinted and flagged me down because they thought you were having a heart attack or choking.
No, not that I know of.
No matter how you feel about people using drugs, you should understand that the fentanyl epidemic is a huge problem currently. Despite claiming that there weren't any drugs in his car, a white powdery substance was found in the glove box, which tested positive for cocaine in the field and would later test positive for fentanyl. It's unknown whether or not Reilly knew about the fentanyl, but it's very likely that he didn't. Even among drug addicts, fentanyl is known to be incredibly dangerous, especially when you don't know the exact quantity that you're using. He also told the officer that he has struggled with addiction to cocaine, but didn't ever mention fentanyl at all.
22 lobby for a civil complaint, please. Careful.
Is Todd available?
You want me to get him over here?
Would you mind?
Yeah, I don't mind. Just do me a favor, can you come over to the front of mine? Thanks. Just hang out in the front while I make this phone call. Thanks.
Reilly was going to have his mother come and pick up his car, but the officers told him that it wouldn't be a good idea. Secondhand exposure to fentanyl can be incredibly dangerous, because even in small amounts, it can kill someone. In the end, Matthew Reilly was arrested and charged with drug possession and is currently awaiting trial. He did, however, very quickly resign from the city council and from his position as chairman of the Republican Party due to pressure from the mayor and other council members. Luckily, in this next case, we also see a corrupt politician forced to resign.
Hi, I'm Caren Turner. Hi, it's Mayor. I'm a resident. Here you go.
It's fine. I don't need that.
Okay, fine. I'm Caren Turner.
You're just here as the rider, right?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm here as a concerned citizen and friend of the mayor, and been in Tenafly for 20 years. I take full responsibility for them. And what is the reason they were pulled over?
The driver has all the information. He'll tell you.
No. I need to know.
No, you don't need to know.
Okay.
We're not involved here. You're picking them up.
No. I'm involved.
The lady who decided to barge in on the traffic stop here is Caren Turner, a Democratic lobbyist from Tenafly. At this moment, she was also serving as commissioner from the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. For a bit of context, her daughter was just pulled over, and effectively the stop had already been completed before she showed up. She was just supposed to come and pick them up. Unfortunately for her and her career, she decided to do much more than that.
Well, I'm not going to tell you. He's the driver of the automobile. He's over 18. That's all you need to know.
Okay. If you can...
We don't need to see credentials.
Okay.
We've explained already.
You need a... If you can give me a little bit of space here.
Who is this? Are you a commissioner?
I am a commissioner. One of the commissioners, and I'm heading up...
Do you have an ID with that?
That is my ID, and that is my business card. I am the commissioner of the Port Authority, and I'm heading up over 4,000 police officers. Okay? So, if there's a problem, I think I have...
There's no problem.
Well, I think there's a problem.
It's an unregistered vehicle.
Okay, let's hear, why were they pulled over, first of all?
Miss.
Now, don't call me Miss, I'm Commissioner. Thank you.
Commissioner?
Yes.
All due
why
respect.
were they pulled over?
All due respect.
Yep. Why
the driver will tell you.
The officer here says that the car is unregistered, which is about as open and shut as it gets. It is illegal in all 50 states to drive an unregistered car, and that also shows why someone had to come and pick them up. Nobody is allowed to drive this car, and for Turner to continuously ask why they were pulled over just shows a disregard or a misunderstanding of the law. And neither of those are a very good look for a commissioner that apparently heads up over 4,000 police officers.
No. I need
yes,
to know.
The car's getting towed now.
Why is the car getting towed?
Go ask him.
No. I'm asking. You're the person who's ordered it, and trust me.
Miss, this does not involve you 1%.
Yeah, it does. It does, because I'm picking them up, and I'm offering to take responsibility for them, and you can't even tell me the charges. I'm also an attorney, so I think if you can't tell me, what is the problem?
That's fine.
Why is it such a difficulty to say why they're being pulled over, and why the car's being towed?
Because everything has already been explained.
I know, but
why do you need to know?
Because this is impacting me, because I got 4 people who are coming back to my house, including people who live in New Haven attending Yale Graduate School, a PhD student, and I don't know why it's so difficult to say what the problem is.
This woman seems to really like bringing up things that are supposed to make people sound important. There was no reason to bring up that one of the people over there was a PhD student. It was just a desperate attempt to make them look good. The officers are entirely correct here. Not only is it not required for them to explain the charges to her, it would actually be quite unprofessional. The driver was over 18, as they mentioned earlier, and already had the details of the citations gone over with him. There is no reason for Caren to get any of the information.
This is impacting me. On Easter Sunday, I got to take 4 people
I'll be honest,
back to New Haven.
I'll be honest with you. Should I be frank with you?
Yeah, I want to know what the problem is.
It's more of the way you just approached me and your demeanor.
You know what? Okay.
I'm being honest with you.
I want to know why.
I just don't appreciate your demeanor.
I don't
You're being
appreciate...
very demanding with me.
No, I'm asking you a question which is not being answered.
But it doesn't need to be answered. It's irrelevant.
Okay. You know what?
If you'd like to read my report, you can come down to the police department records on Monday, and you can get a copy of it.
And you can't...
I am there is no... You have no right to know what's going on.
This is a pretty interesting case of the officer being so open with her. He actually told her that she's being demanding and that she came off as quite overbearing. And what does she do in response to that? She doubles down on wanting information that doesn't pertain to her. The officer even tells her that she can come down to the station to get a copy of the report if she wants it, because it's public record, but of course that would take time out of her busy schedule. That is a pretty explicit threat there, with her also saying that she's going to be talking with the police commissioner. She already heard them tell her that the car was unregistered, but she's continuing to pretend that there's absolutely nothing wrong with the car and that the whole traffic cop was nonsense. And of course, she's a concerned parent and probably coming off as more abrasive than she should have, but her child isn't even the one in trouble. She was just a passenger. There's no reason for her to be acting like this.
But I will.
You can do whatever you would like to do.
She's been
This is a lawful motor vehicle stop. You are here to pick them up. Okay?
Okay.
There's going to be a report.
Yep.
The driver has been advised of everything that's going on.
Okay. I was there for your graduation when you guys came in the camp, and it wasn't that long ago.
What graduation? What are you talking about?
Okay.
What graduation?
Thank
when
you
I came
very
into
much,
what town?
Saditsky and Kaplan. Thank you for
Have
your
a nice day.
information and help. You know what? I hope you have a really nice holiday weekend too, because you just ruined it for a lot of people. Without even the decency.
No, I didn't ruin anything.
Yeah,
I was doing my job.
Yeah, you did.
I would just hope you, being a commissioner,
this is their Passover.
that you would understand the job police officers have to do. But
there is no explanation. How can I understand?
You
don't
didn't even
have
ask
the
him.
decency.
You didn't even
no,
ask
I'm
him.
asking you because you're the one that's making the report, the problem, stating it. I'm going to the
I don't
source.
appreciate the way you approached me, the way you demanded information, the way
I'm
you're,
not demanding.
you're
I'm
stating
asking
based
you.
off of your
asking
your
you.
position
I'm asking
in another
you.
agency,
I'm asking
whatever it
you.
may be. I mean, you have a business card with
How many
credentials.
times-
I don't know you. I just met you a minute ago. You have no official
So
identification.
Louis, what's his name? Schmarodowski?
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, I'm just telling you who I am. I've been in the town for 20 years, and as a courtesy, I would like to understand the rationale for their being pulled over and their car confiscated. This is a courtesy. I don't know why it's
I
difficult.
believe
you know
should ask your daughter and the driver of the motor vehicle.
My daughter is a backseat passenger, as you've
Exactly.
said. You're making the accusation. I would like to know...
What accusation?
The accusation of I don't know what, because you haven't told me. You're telling me to go Monday and read the report.
No, that's
when
not
these
what
kids,
you said.
you said ask them. It's not them.
Caren seems to falter a little bit here when the officer tells her exactly what she should do, which is go and ask the person who got the ticket. The driver is standing right there, and a conversation would be much quicker and simpler than trying to berate the information out of these officers. No matter whether or not you believe they should just tell her the info, it's pretty clear that it would be simpler and easier to just go ask the driver.
Because you told me nothing. Shame on both of you. Okay. I will be talking to the chief of police.
Please.
And I will be speaking to the mayor.
Badge number 540.
I got your name.
Just to make sure there's no discrepancy.
There's no
Matt is the first name.
No. Don't you worry.
As long as you got all the information right.
I got all your information,
Okay.
sweetheart. You can't put a sentence together. That's shameful.
Okay.
That's shameful.
Have a pleasant weekend.
You have a wonderful weekend. You're going to very...
Well, the sense of entitlement coming off this woman is pretty clear. This video created a firestorm of public outrage, with many people condemning Turner's behavior and demanding accountability. Politicians and officials, including New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, called for her resignation. Under pressure from the public and her fellow commissioners, Caren Z. Turner ultimately resigned from her position. She did apparently issue an apology to the two officers, but it wasn't a very good one. She said, "As a parent, I was upset and uncomfortable with the unfolding events. I let my emotions get the better of me and regret my tone toward the police officers and use of off-color language. For this, I apologize. But at no point did I violate the Port Authority's code of ethics or ask for special treatment for anyone involved, nor did I suggest in any way that I would use my position at the Port Authority to affect the outcome of the violations issued to the driver." Definitely sounds like a non-apology. She's not sorry for what she did. She's sorry she got caught. Just like most corrupt politicians when they're caught red-handed.